If you're receiving Social Security benefits or planning to retire soon, what I'm about to tell you could literally put thousands of extra dollars in your pocket every single month. The Social Security Administration just implemented the biggest changes to the system in decades, and millions of Americans are already seeing dramatic increases in their monthly payments. Some people are getting over $1,000 more per month, while others have received retroactive payments worth tens of thousands of dollars. But here's the thing. Many eligible people still don't know about these changes or what they need to do to claim their increased benefits. I'm talking about the Social Security Fairness Act, which became law in January 2025 and has already triggered over $17 billion in payments to more than 3 million Americans. If you've ever worked for a government job, been a teacher, firefighter, police officer, or worked for any employer that didn't pay into Social Security, this video could be worth more money to you than any investment you've ever made. But even if you haven't worked in those fields, there are other significant changes happening in 2025 that could affect your benefits. And I'm going to break down everything you need to know. The Social Security Fairness Act represents the most significant reform to Social Security in over 40 years, and it's already changing lives across America. This law eliminated two controversial rules that had been reducing or completely eliminating Social Security benefits for millions of Americans who also received pensions from jobs that didn't pay into Social Security. These two rules were called the Windfall Elimination Provision and the Government Pension Offset, and they had been penalizing people who dedicated their careers to public service. Let me explain exactly how these rules worked and why their elimination is such a big deal. The Windfall Elimination Provision, or WEP, reduced Social Security benefits for people who also received pensions from jobs where they didn't pay Social Security taxes. This typically affected teachers, firefighters, police officers, and other state and local government employees. The Government Pension Offset, or GPO, reduced Social Security survivor benefits for spouses and widows who received their own government pensions. In many cases, these offsets were so severe that people lost their entire Social Security benefit, even though they had paid into the system for years through other jobs. The impact of these provisions was devastating for many families. A retired teacher who had also worked part-time jobs that paid into Social Security might see their Social Security benefits reduced by hundreds of dollars per month due to WEP. A widow receiving her deceased husband's Social Security benefits might lose those benefits entirely because she also received a small pension from her job as a city clerk. These situations created genuine financial hardship for people who had worked their entire lives and paid into multiple retirement systems. Now that the Social Security Fairness Act has eliminated these provisions, the Social Security Administration is working rapidly to recalculate benefits and issue payments. The numbers are staggering. Through early 2025, over 3 million people have received retroactive payments totaling more than $17 billion. The average retroactive payment has been over $6,000, but many people are receiving much larger amounts. Some individuals are getting retroactive payments of $20,000 or more, representing years of benefits that were previously reduced or eliminated. But the retroactive payments are just the beginning. The ongoing monthly increases are where the real long-term impact lies. According to the Congressional Budget Office, beneficiaries affected by these changes will see an average monthly increase of $360. However, many people are seeing increases of over $1,000 per month. For a couple where both spouses were affected by these provisions, the monthly increase could be $2,000 or more, which translates to over $24,000 per year in additional income. The implementation of these changes has been happening in phases throughout 2025. The Social Security Administration began issuing retroactive payments in February and started increasing monthly benefit payments in April. However, the process is ongoing, and if you believe you might be eligible, there are specific steps you need to take to ensure you receive all the benefits you're entitled to. Beyond the Social Security Fairness Act, there are several other important changes to Social Security in 2025 that could affect your benefits. The cost of living adjustment for 2025 increased all Social Security benefits by 2.5%. While this might seem modest compared to the dramatic increases from the Fairness Act, it still represents additional money for all beneficiaries. For someone receiving the average Social Security benefit of about $1,800 per month, this COLA increase adds about $45 to their monthly payment. The earnings test limits have also increased for 2025. If you're receiving Social Security benefits but are younger than your full retirement age and still working, there are limits on how much you can earn before your benefits are reduced. For 2025, you can earn up to $23,400 without any reduction in benefits, which is an increase from $22,320 in 2024. If you're in the year you reach full retirement age, the limit is much higher at $62,160. And once you reach full retirement age, there's no earnings limit at all. There are also important changes related to Medicare that Social Security beneficiaries need to understand. Many people who were affected by the windfall elimination provision or government pension offset had been paying their Medicare premiums directly to Medicare rather than having them deducted from their Social Security benefits. Now that their Social Security benefits have increased, they may need to make adjustments to how they pay their Medicare premiums. Another significant development is the ongoing discussion about eliminating taxes on Social Security benefits entirely. While this hasn't become law yet, there is growing bipartisan support for legislation that would stop taxing Social Security benefits for all recipients. Currently, depending on your total income, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits can be subject to federal income tax. Eliminating these taxes would provide additional effective income for millions of retirees. If you think you might be eligible for increased benefits under the Social Security Fairness Act, here's what you need to do. First, don't wait for the Social Security Administration to contact you while they are working to identify all eligible beneficiaries. The process is complex and it's possible that some people might be missed initially. You should contact Social Security directly if you receive a pension from work where you didn't pay Social Security taxes and you're also receiving Social Security benefits. When you contact Social Security, have your documentation ready. You'll need information about your government pension, including when you started receiving it and the monthly amount. You'll also need your Social Security benefit information and details about all the jobs you've held throughout your career. The more documentation you can provide, the faster Social Security can process your case. Be prepared for the process to take time. While Social Security is working as quickly as possible to implement these changes, they're dealing with millions of cases. Some people have already received their increased benefits and retroactive payments, while others are still waiting. The key is to make sure Social Security has all your information and knows that you believe you're eligible. You should also be aware of scams related to these changes. Unfortunately, whenever there are major changes to government benefits, scammers try to take advantage of the confusion. Social Security will never ask you to pay money up front to receive your benefits, and they will never ask for your Social Security number or bank account information over the phone unless you called them first. If someone contacts you claiming to be from Social Security and asks for personal information or money, it's likely a scam. The impact of these changes extends far beyond just the immediate financial benefits. For many people, the elimination of WEP and GPO represents a restoration of dignity and fairness. Teachers who dedicated their lives to educating children, police officers who risked their lives to protect communities, and firefighters who ran toward danger when others ran away were being penalized for their public service. The Social Security Fairness Act recognizes that these individuals deserve their full Social Security benefits in addition to their government pensions. Looking ahead, there may be additional changes to Social Security in the coming years. The system faces long-term funding challenges, and Congress will need to address these issues to ensure Social Security remains viable for future generations. However, the current changes represent a significant step toward making the system more fair and equitable for all Americans. The timing of these changes is particularly important for current retirees and those nearing retirement. Many people who were affected by WEP and GPO had adjusted their retirement plans based on reduced Social Security benefits. The elimination of these provisions means that some people may be able to retire earlier than planned, or they may be able to enjoy a more comfortable retirement than they had expected. For those still working and planning for retirement, these changes highlight the importance of understanding all the rules that might affect your Social Security benefits. Social Security is incredibly complex, and seemingly small details about your work history or pension benefits can have major impacts on your monthly payments. It's worth investing time to understand how the system works and how the various rules might apply to your specific situation. The Social Security Fairness Act also demonstrates that positive change is possible, even for complex government programs. This legislation had bipartisan support and was years in the making, with advocacy from numerous organizations representing public employees and retirees. The success of this effort shows that when people organize and advocate for fair treatment, meaningful change can happen. As we move through 2025, it's important to stay informed about any additional developments related to Social Security. The Social Security Administration continues to provide updates on their website about the implementation of the Fairness Act, and they regularly publish information about other changes to the program. Whether you're already retired or still planning for retirement, understanding these changes and how they might affect you is crucial for your financial security.